And what about place kicking in particular between Shelley and Foster?
You know, I think those guys have done a pretty good job all year. I know that everybody looks at statistics, and you know, we've talked about Cade maybe being a little bit more consistent in terms of his kickoffs. Certainly more capable, very capable of doing what we need to do in the kicking game. He's made some long field goals that have been good. Shelley's a very consistent performer. He was having some back problems for a couple weeks there that I think might have affected him a little bit, but he's healthy and in good shape now and shouldn't have any issues moving forward.
Coach, you've won 12 straight rematch games. I'm wondering if the outcome of last year's game caused you to lose any sleep. And you always talk about motivation for your team. I'm wondering if a loss in the previous year provides you with more motivation or causes you to approach a game any differently.
No, not really. I lose sleep over about every game, even the ones that we win, because, you know, you never play perfectly. And there's always areas that you have concern about, and maybe you analyze how and what you did, how you prepared for certain situations, what you could have done differently. But I think that happens with everybody a little bit more so when you're not successful and you don't have success in a particular game. And I don't know that there's any added motivation, or if anybody's sitting around thinking about what happened last year. I think everybody's kind of looking forward to the opportunities that they have right now. I think there's certainly lessons to be learned anytime you play a team year in and year out, and maybe all those things that you learn affects how you prepare for the team in the future.
Coach, Trent Richardson's had a great season and plays a key role every week. When you look at what you'd like to see from him against a defense like this, you talked about the way LSU rotates on the front in particular. What are some things he's going to need to do that make this different than every week to have the results you want?
Well, I think it's not going to be just about him. I think that, you know, how we control the line of scrimmage or try to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball are going to be critical. I think our key on offense has been we've been able to create balance by our ability to run the ball effectively as well as make plays in the passing game. And I don't think that will be any different in this particular game. I think anytime a team can make you one-dimensional, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. So how our offensive line handles their front people, their different looks that they give you, the 8-man fronts, their fire zones and blitzes, and how we get a hat on a hat, and how our runners can perform in terms of establishing a good running game. But Trent's a good all-around player. You know, I think people just look at how many yards he gains when he's, you know, running the ball, but he's a very, very good pass receiver. He's also an excellent blocker in pass protection when he needs to be. And I think that's got to be sort of the approach that everyone takes in terms of how do we execute as a unit. Because when you play against, you know, good people, if you don't execute, and you're only as strong as your weakest link, so if one guy's not executing, then, you know, that can affect the entire performance of that particular unit on that play. So everyone's going to have to be focused on doing their job well for Trent Richardson to be able to do the things that we would like for him to do in the running game as well as the passing game.
Coach, I think all of us could imagine you know, treating the team kind of like a jury this week. Don't watch television, don't read the newspapers. Any special instructions like that as far as hype control is concerned?
Is there what?
Any special instructions to the team in terms of, you know, not being taken in by the hype, that sort of thing?
Well, you can give them all the instruction that you'd like, you know, just like we all have children that we give instruction to when they go out on a date, but you never know for sure whether they're going to do it or not. And I'm sure that there are some players on our team who pay very little attention, and there's other players who could get caught up, you know, in that type of thing. But, you know, it's your goal that the players can stay focused on things that matter in terms of their preparation so that they will play well in the game and can stay focused on that right now and not be so result-oriented in terms of what they want to accomplish, but to focus on what they need to do to be able to accomplish. And I think there's a fine line in there, and hopefully, you know, that's been our message to the team, and it will continue to be.
Nick, any thoughts about coaching against LSU? Is it still special for you, or is that over as far as that phase of your life? And also, as far as the loser of this game, there's been a lot of chatter about whether the loser should still be in consideration for the championship. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, first of all, my time at LSU was a special time, and I think that the memories of the friends that we have and the accomplishments that we were able to make and the improvements in the program that we were able to make, you know, not just in terms of the football games that we won, but built an academic center, created, you know, some other things that have helped the program long term. Those are all special memories. It was more difficult when players that you recruited or coached were still playing and you had to play against those guys, and that's not true now. You know, I'm focused on our team, our guys, what they need to do, how they need to do it. So I really don't think a lot about that. But there are a lot of personal relationships that we have with a lot of people because of the association that we have with LSU in the past. And you know, the older you get, and everybody knows I'm getting old, you know, you kind of cherish those relationships and really respect them and appreciate them a lot. And I'm happy to say that a lot of those things don't get affected by this game and what happens in this game. So on the other side of the coin, you know, all I can say is I think clearly both teams that are playing in this game have established the fact that based on the body of work to this point, that they are some of the best teams in the country. And the fact that we have to play at this time because of our conference, our division, and our schedule, I think that everybody should view that game as these are two of the best teams playing, and how that game affects the future should not be relative to just who won and lost, but actually the quality of the teams.
Yeah, Coach, as you look at the evolution of your defense from kind of a youngish group to what they are now and the standard they've set, can you point to, you know, some markers along the way that have kind of indicated to you that this is where it was headed?
Well, I think the markers along the way probably were the successes as well as the mistakes, you know, that were made in sort of the development of the players who are out there playing, because they're playing better because of the knowledge and experience that they gained when they were young players, sort of maturing into what they are now. And I think that knowledge and experience, confidence that comes with that, are all things that have got them to play with a little more consistency, make less mistakes, play probably better together as a team, have a better understanding and awareness of what they need to do for their unit to be successful. And that's probably how they've evolved. And unfortunately, you know, some of the best lessons you learn sometimes are the mistakes that you make. And those are the best opportunities that we all have to learn and improve, is not necessarily always through the successes, but sometimes in the failures. And I think our coaching staff has done a good job of sort of teaching, you know, our players, and they have improved and developed, and that's helped us get better.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.